Imagine stepping into, well, any conversation, any room, feeling completely at ease, undeniably confident in your English. That's precisely the mastery we're aiming for today. We're embarking on a deep dive, looking into this really incredible resource. We're calling it Speak Like a Pro, Daily English Expressions. And it's just packed with the exact kind of phrases you can start using right away, every single day.
Yeah, and what's truly insightful here, I think, is that this isn't really about memorizing like complex vocabulary at all. It's much more about understanding the power of the right tone, the perfect timing, and just using simple everyday phrases that will allow you to sound genuinely natural. These linguistic shifts, they might seem small, but when you apply them consistently, they can have a huge impact on your confidence and how others see you.
That's the core of it, isn't it? So our mission today is basically to pull out the most impactful bits from this source, give you a kind of shortcut to speaking like a pro. Whether you're at work, maybe in a shop, or just, chatting with friends, think of it like mastering real-world English, one step at a time. Okay, so let's unwrap these nuggets. Right, we'll kick things off with a foundational skill. How you actually start a conversation easily. Our source really emphasizes getting that strong, friendly greeting down. You might go for some casual, kind of cool, like, hey, how's it going? Oh! Or maybe to sound a bit warmer, clearer, try, good morning, how are you today? And when you see friends or colleagues again, phrases like, nice to see you again, or how have you been, they really work.
And a crucial point the source makes is how much a warm smile and, a clear voice adds to that. These nonverbal cues, they're not just like polite extras. They're fundamental for making that immediate positive impression. Building rapport, think about it, a welcoming vibe just opens people up, makes them more receptive. And the source also really pushes for active practice. It suggests repeating phrases slowly and a bit faster, letting your voice sound relaxed, natural. This focus on different paces, it's interesting, isn't it? It's not just memorizing. It's like training your brain, automating the delivery. You build flexibility, like a musician practicing scales, maybe. Slowly, then faster. So the rhythm of the language becomes, well, almost instinctive, effortless, like muscle memory.
That makes so much sense. Yeah, muscle memory. Learning the dance, not just the steps.
Okay, so you've started the conversation. How do you keep it flowing? How do you avoid awkward silences? That's where these smart follow-up questions come in. They're your best friend here. Our source has some great examples. What have you been up to lately? Or did you do anything fun last weekend? Maybe how's work going for you? You could also get more specific. Show curiosity with things like, have you traveled recently? Or maybe, are you working on something new?
Right. And these aren't just random questions, are they? They're designed to show you're genuinely interested. They keep the dialogue moving. If you think about the bigger picture, these open, friendly questions, they kind of invite deeper engagement. They signal you're actually listening actively, which, stops conversations from just fizzling out. When you ask about someone's weekend or work, you're inviting them to share a bit of their world, really. That's a great way to put it, an invitation. Okay, now let's flip it. Let's look at the other side. Responding like a pro, naturally, simply. The source gives us some really excellent sort of go-to answers, things like, not much, just relaxing at home. Or, yeah, I had a pretty chill weekend, maybe. Work's been a little busy, but it's fine. Or even, I'm working on a few small projects. Simple stuff.
Exactly. And the core advice here is keep your answers pretty concise and authentic. Why? Well, because avoiding rambling or over-explaining often signals confidence, clarity. A simple, direct answer just shows you're comfortable, self-assured. And don't forget, adding a natural smile, maybe a small laugh if it fits. That really reinforces the authenticity, makes your responses feel more genuine, personable.
It's amazing how much confidence comes across in just being concise.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, sharing your opinions. Confidently, this is where you can really make your presence felt in a discussion. Our source recommends direct, clear phrases like, I think it's a great idea, or, in my opinion, that works really well. Even, honestly, I prefer the second option, or just expressing enjoyment, like, that movie was amazing, I loved it.
And what's really insightful from the source is how it talks about navigating agreement and disagreement gracefully. You can strongly agree, obviously. I totally agree with you. Easy. But if you see things differently, you can calmly say something like, I see it a little differently. The key takeaway, the consistent advice, is stay calm. Be respectful. Always. When you share your thoughts, this isn't just, good manners. It's essential for keeping the dialogue open. It makes sure your message gets heard, even if it's a different viewpoint. Stops things turning into a debate. Keeps it productive.
Yeah, that difference between polite disagreement and a full-on debate is so important. Okay, let's get practical. Everyday situations. shops, cafes, that kind of transactional English. Polite phrases are key here. Can I see the menu, please? Or I'll have the chicken sandwich. Maybe asking for a modification. Could I get that without onions? Or about availability. Is this available in a smaller size? Super useful. And of course, always wrapping it up politely. Thank you so much, or a clear, that's all for now.
Absolutely. The essence for these interactions is really clear. Keep your words precise and unfailingly polite. The source really stresses speaking with calm and kindness. Always. And that brings up an interesting point, doesn't it? How much our actual demeanor, our tone, affects how effective our communication is, especially in those quick interactions. Well, the answer is profoundly. A calm, kind tone reduces friction. It makes your request easier for the other person to understand, and it just leads to a smoother exchange overall. It's about making the interaction pleasant, not just functional.
And what happens when things aren't perfect? When you misunderstand or make a mistake? How do you handle that gracefully? Our guide offers some clear, simple lifelines. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Or, could you please repeat that? Even admitting, I'm still learning, so I might need help. And definitely, thanks for understanding.
This is such a crucial point. So many learners worry about this. But asking questions or admitting you didn't get something, it's not weakness, it's strength. It shows humility, right?
Yeah.
A willingness to learn and the confidence to say, hey, I need clarification. That actually builds trust, leads to a better outcome. Pros don't panic when there's a little hiccup. They just ask calmly, confidently. That really is an aha moment for a lot of people, I think. Realizing the vulnerability when it's calm can be really powerful.
That completely reframes it, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about advice. Giving it, receiving it. For asking, you could try. What would you suggest? Or maybe, do you think this is a good idea? Simple enough. And when you're the one giving advice, phrases like, if I were you, I'd try something different. Or maybe you could ask someone for help. Perhaps you might want to take a break. Or I'd recommend doing it step by step.
And one of the fascinating things the source points out is how pros genuinely support each other. This really comes through in how advice is given. It lands much better when it's delivered with, kind words, a soft, helpful tone. Why is that? Well, advice, even if it's well-meant, can sometimes feel like criticism. So by staying gentle, supportive in your tone, you encourage the other person to actually listen, to be receptive. You build trust, not defensiveness. It's more about being a guide, less like being a judge. That tone really is everything, isn't it? Okay, shifting gears a bit, work-specific communication. The source has loads of productive phrases for the professional world. For managing tasks, time. I'll send you the file by evening, or let's discuss this in the next meeting. Hey, maybe I need a little more time on that task, or can we reschedule our call? And acknowledging feedback. Thanks for your feedback, or I'll make the changes today. So important. And when giving feedback, constructive phrases are key. Great job on your presentation. Or, I liked how you explained the idea, maybe suggesting improvement. Next time, you could speak a bit louder, or praising skills. You handled the questions really well.
Exactly. These aren't just polite phrases, they're fundamentally productive. They embody that idea of leading with language. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How does this really impact career growth? Well, it's because clarity, respect, a proactive approach, all communicated through precise language, they demonstrate reliability. Professionalism. Your words become proof of your capability, in a way. The source highlights that feedback, especially, should always be kind and helpful, delivered with a friendly tone. It's about encouraging growth, right? Not shutting people down. And on time and scheduling phrases like, what time works best for you? Well, let's meet at 2 p.m. I'm running a bit late, sorry. Can we move the meeting to tomorrow? Let me check my calendar, all right? I'm free after lunch. They're just invaluable. Being clear, respectful with time. It's not just courtesy. It builds trust. Efficiency. It shows you value other people's time. Hugely important.
Definitely. Okay, moving beyond the task itself, let's talk about small talk, that subtle art. It often gets underestimated, but it's so crucial for building comfort, connection. Weather chat is the classic starting point, right? The source gives examples. It's been so hot lately, hasn't it? Or, yeah, missed the rainy days. Maybe the sky looks amazing today, or perfect weather for a walk.
Yeah, these lines, they seem so simple, but they're incredibly powerful. They're what pros use to break the ice, connect with almost anyone. They create that little shared moment, however brief, that makes people smile, feel at ease. It's about finding common ground, opening the door for more conversation. And then the source moves into describing things, daily habits, offers great examples like, this book is really interesting, or the room feels warm and cozy. Her dress is elegant and simple. The meal was light but delicious. And for habits, I wake up early and go for a walk. I check my emails after breakfast. I read before going to sleep. Describing everyday things isn't just about vocabulary building, though that's part of it. It's how fluency really becomes natural. You're connecting language directly to your life, your activities. You embed these new phrases into your personal context. That makes them stick, makes them effortless to recall. It turns passive knowledge into active, usable language. That's the key.
That's a fantastic way to think about it, making the language personal. Okay, finally, let's harness the power of language for goals. Setting them, achieving them. Our source gives us some powerful goal-oriented phrases to adopt. I'm trying to improve my English every day. Or, I want to speak more fluently in conversations. Pell, maybe my goal is to feel confident in meetings. Or simply, I'm working hard to get better.
Right. And the emphasis here is really on cultivating that strong, positive mindset. When you speak your goals out loud, you're not just stating them, you're reinforcing them for yourself. Maybe creating a bit of accountability, too. That's a key strategy pros use, continuous growth.
And for encouragement, both for yourself and for others, phrases like, you're doing an amazing job, huh? Or keep going, you're getting better, your speaking has really improved. Or even just acknowledging the process. Mistakes are part of learning. That's invaluable. Positive words have such a profound impact. They build real confidence, they lift others up, they foster an environment where everyone feels like they can thrive. We've really gone deep today, haven't we? Unpacking how simple phrases, when you pair them with the right tone, with confidence, how they can genuinely transform your English. You've basically just got a direct route to sounding more natural without getting bogged down in complex grammar rules.
Yeah, and what's truly remarkable, I think, is that every single phrase you practice, every time you consciously choose to speak with clarity, with calmness, with confidence, you're actively building towards genuine fluency, step by step. Which brings us to a powerful question for you, the listener. What's one tiny, actionable step you can take today? Something to apply these pro tips in your own conversations. Maybe it's just trying one new greeting, or like we said, just smiling more when you speak.
That one simple, intentional step could be a real game changer because, as our source reminds us, true fluency, it isn't just about knowing words, it's about connecting with anyone, one thoughtfully chosen sentence at a time. So here's a thought to leave you with. What's that one new phrase you'll intentionally use in your next conversation to make that connection? And how will it feel to, well, speak like you're painting a picture with your words? Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.